Welcome back to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm your host, Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me at the market site in Times Square, we have Vinay Kapoor. He's back with us, and he's the America's Head of Diversity and Inclusion over at BNP Paribas. And we're going to talk about LGBT and how key they are in the capital markets. Vinay, it's great to have you back with me.
Pleasure to be back.
As always, and this week we're celebrating Pride Month across the U.S., around the world. Tell us more about what Pride Month means to you.
Pride Month for BNP Paribas is an opportunity for us to really pause and take stock of the contributions the LGBT community make to BNP Paribas. It's an opportunity for us to continue the dialogue when it comes to LGBT diversity around educational initiatives, inspirational speakers, etc., coming into the bank as well. But it's also an opportunity for us to recognize the important contribution of active allies that have been, the role of allies in the LGBT diversity journey within BNP Paribas. So we've held a whole week of events in the office, and we're looking forward to a fantastic Pride weekend here in New York as well.
All right, now tell us about your role at BNP.
So at BNP Paribas, as America's Head of Diversity and Inclusion, my role is to ensure that our diversity and inclusion strategy is plumbed into our commercial strategy, and that we have an organization where all talent can thrive, and succeed. And LGBT diversity is actually one of our core pillars, along with gender and race, within BNP Paribas here in the Americas as well. And part of my role is also to make sure that diversity and inclusion is baked into all of our people processes, and to also help reduce the unconscious bias heat map throughout the organization as well.
Right, and so why is this so important in the workplace, particularly in the world of finance?
LGBT diversity is particularly important because it's about talent. For me, it's about talent, and we know that the our LGBT staff, like all of our staff, want to be able to bring their full selves to work. They want to be able to bring their full identity to work. Unfortunately, we still see statistics and reports that come out that around 35% of LGBT staff in corporate America don't feel comfortable sharing their full identity, and that figure shoots up to around about 60% at the graduate level, particularly on Wall Street as well. And so for us at BNP Paribas, it's about how do we make sure that all of our talent can bring all of their full selves to work, because that's when we know that they are the most productive, it's a better place to do business with, and it's a great place to work as well.
Now, are you starting to see these changes since you've arrived at BNP?
Absolutely. I remember being part of the first Pride networks that we set up in London some 10 years ago, and we now have over 20 chapters globally in each of the regions now. So in the Americas, in the EMEA, and also in APAC as well. And we're also heading to our third global BNP Paribas Pride conference as well. And that's all been possible because of the tone from the top and the brave and fearless leadership that has been shown by our group CEO, Jean-Laurent Bonnafé, when in 2015 he signed an LGBT diversity charter, in spite of some backlash, I have to say. He absolutely signed that charter and firmly recommitted the organization to LGBT diversity as well. So that brave and fearless leadership from the top of the organization is so essential when it comes to
those accomplishments are absolutely fantastic. What are some of your goals for the future?
I think for me, specifically in Pride Week and thinking of LGBT diversity, I think it's also, we see lots of gains being made in the LGBT diversity space, but I'm not sure that those gains are equal for the L, the G, the B, and the T. I'd also like to see lots more narrative and conversation around the intersectionality of LGBT and the other forms of diversity, particularly race as well, to make sure that all voices are heard and all voices are part of the journey as we continue as well.
So you team up a lot with other D&I groups.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For me, this is a human rights issue, so collaboration is key. I don't believe that anyone's going to get there first. I don't believe that anyone's going to get there alone. And so collaboration is key. I'd also like to be in a world where the only queer people are those that who don't know how to love. So.
All right, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to have you with me.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.